This is a Channel 4 News special report. New Year's Eve, 1999. Countdown to 2000.
Hi, everyone. We welcome you to our special coverage to 2000 right here on NBC4. I'm Colleen Williams.
And I'm Chuck Henry. Well, the excitement is building, and there's a big party going on right now out in Hollywood. LA Celebrate 2000 Bash at the Paramount Studios. It, of course, is hosted by the city of Los Angeles.
As you saw just a second ago, a sneak preview. Let's go live to Kelly Mack for a look at what's happening out there right now. Kelly, the governor's standing by?
The governor is right here, Colleen and Chuck, and he has very good words to say, very encouraging words to the state of California about how we have fared through this whole Y2K scare, if you will. Let's come in on this interview right here, Governor.
My thoughts for the Millennium are that we realize our great blessings being alive at this time in the world, and that we give thanks to the World War II generation that paved the way. We're honoring one of them tonight in Lou Wasserman, and the way you give thanks is to give something back. Be a mentor, give to your local school or church or synagogue or Boys and Girls Club. Realize that with all the success you enjoy, we want everyone to be as successful as possible, that we have an obligation to help people coming along behind us.
Governor Davis, I'm sorry to interrupt. We're live here. Tell me again, what can you say to the citizens of California about how we have fared during this whole Y2K scare?
Well, we prepared for the worst, but we have 4,200 highway patrolmen on the street. We've got about 2,000 National Guardsmen taking an annual weekend this weekend to prepare. We've got active cooperation with the FBI, the Secret Service, and so far everything has gone well, everything. I'm kind of pinching myself, but I believe we are prepared, and I just want people to enjoy this time, realize how blessed we are, and have a safe and wonderful new century and new millennium.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, Mrs. Davis. All right. We're live here at Paramount Pictures Studios in Hollywood, and we'll be back with our live coverage later on. We'll tell you about all the celebrities who are out here benefiting a very, very good cause. Back to you in the studio now.
All right, Kelly, thank you very much. Kelly Mack has her ball gown on tonight. She is dressed up, ready to go. She picked up the gala duties with the governor and all the other celebrities at Paramount Studios. But
another big party that's going on right now is in Hollywood, a big bash that's hosted by the city of Los Angeles at Paramount Studios, and that's where we're going to find Kelly Mack live. Kelly.
Chuck, it's very hard not to dance while I'm talking because we're listening to the music of the New Temptations here at Paramount Studios. You know, the back lot here has been transformed into a stunning backdrop for the Los Angeles City Party called Made in Hollywood. This is not just a party, though. It's a benefit. The 600 guests who are here paid a lot of money, and all the proceeds, some $1 million, will go to the Los Angeles Library Foundation. Now, this music is terrific here, but it started with something equally terrific, very different, though, the music of Frank Sinatra Jr. You can listen to a little bit of him here on this tape.
On State Street, that great street, I just want to say.
Frank Sinatra Jr. looking remarkably like his father and remarkably sounding like his father. Now, this ballroom was created to look like a 1930s nightclub, specifically the Coconut Grove. Now, there are tons of celebrities here, a lot of heavy hitters in Hollywood, but there are also political leaders as well.
I think we can say with relative confidence that nothing serious will go wrong as we move into the new millennium, and it's a great testament to the professionalism of law enforcement, the Secret Service, the FBI, the National Guard, the California Highway Patrol, and all local law enforcement that have worked together like I've never seen in my lifetime, and we all ought to say a little prayer to them tonight.
A bunch of sissies in our town. I was out at all the events, had a wonderful time, and people who went had a wonderful time, and makes me feel great about the city.
Y2 crazy. That's all I've been saying. I saw it on Sally Jesse. Y2 crazy.
We were thinking of staying in like 90%, but then I'm so glad that we decided to come out because it's an evening which is in aid of a charity, for one thing, which I'm all for the good cause, and it's a great evening.
Great evening indeed. Back live here with the New Temptations. The dance floor is full. And I tell you what, my producer and cameraman, they want to get up there right now. We have to tell you that a special honoree tonight was Lou Wasserman, the chairman emeritus of Universal Studios. He was named as Hollywood's Man of the Century. This party is rocking right now. It's going to rock on through past midnight, and we're here to show it to you. Reporting live from Paramount Pictures in Hollywood, Kelly Mack, Channel 4 News. Colleen and Chuck, back to you.
Somehow I figure Kelly will find a way
I know
to
she
get
will.
out on the dance floor tonight, I'm sure.
Well, we've seen it all over the world. Now, the people of Southern California get their chance to ring in the year 2000. You're looking at a live picture of the Paramount party, a little subdued. Everybody counting down to the last hour of the last year of the 20th century. And a very good evening to you. I'm Jonathan Elias.
And I'm Ann Martin. Happy New Year. We are less than 1 hour away now from the year 2000 here in Los Angeles.
Mayor Reardon is co-hosting another big bash tonight. This one at the Paramount Studios in Hollywood. CBS 2's political editor, Linda Breakstone, is live at the Made in Hollywood celebration. Good evening to you, Linda.
Hello, Jonathan. Well, the theme tonight is 2,000 Reasons to Read, and the purpose to raise $1 million tonight for Mayor Reardon's pet project. With Frank Sinatra Jr. leading the way, the legendary Paramount backlot was transformed into a Hollywood extravaganza, all to welcome the Millennium and raise more than $1 million for the city's libraries.
Tonight is wonder, you know. Never again, unless you're writing about something in the past, are you going to sign a year 19.
More understanding, accepting people the way they are, and because many people don't accept others, you know, and, you know, we have to, because you are the way you want to be, and as long as you don't hurt me, you know, then you can do whatever you want with your life.
The dinner was the year-long project of Mayor Richard Reardon. The governor co-hosted and weighed in on California's day.
We're preparing for everything, but so far there's nothing going wrong. Everyone's having a good time, and that's how we like it.
Now, about that $1 million, well, MCA Chairman Emeritus Lou Wasserman kicked in another $1 million, so they have raised $2 million tonight for the city libraries, and Mayor Richard Reardon is a very happy man. Reporting live from Paramount Studios in Hollywood, I'm Linda Breakstone, CBS 2 News.
All right, Linda.
Good news there. Thank you, Linda. Well, there. And this thing, the Hollywood sign, has not been lit up like this since 1984. They've got lightning machines up there. They've got lasers. They've got banners. And it is looking good, isn't it?
You know, I saw them rehearsing as we were leaving work a couple times. And it's just amazing how much went into just giving them a light show with the lasers and what they've got planned. And it's so much fun, and really it is kind of the signature of Los Angeles when you think about it. We don't have an Eiffel Tower here, but we sure do have a nice Hollywood sign up on the hill.
And you know, they didn't want us going up into the hills, up into those dry hills to try to get close to the sign and watch it. This is a sign to be enjoyed from right back here on your own TV set at home.
The one thing they did do, since we are the entertainment capital of the world, there are 5 parties that were planned to go on simultaneously all around the city of Los Angeles. And the acts, the musical acts, they ranged from Los Lobos and the Olvera Street to a musical act you could pay for, actually. You see the Eagles that were playing at the Staples Center. So much to do. And at Paramount, where this shot comes to us, I think, is a private party as well up there. And lots of fun going on in Los Angeles. Big time party.
Lots of fun and some wonderful private parties. And that was one of our favorite shots from a little earlier, was the private party that Dave Lopez crashed in Orange County, and people were dancing and having a great time. But this is at the Paramount lot. This is a fundraising gala. The proceeds from this party, hosted by Mayor Reardon and Jay Leno, will go to promote LA's Literacy Project, which is sponsored by the library system.
67 branches hoping to raise $1 million to help the kids out, help with the literacy program.
Hope they did it, and there is the Hollywood sign. Now,
Reporting live from Disneyland, Sid Garcia, ABC 7 Eyewitness News. We'll see you in a bit.
Okay, it looks like a lot of fun, Sid. From the happiest place on earth to the most glamorous. Eyewitness News reporter Philip Palmer is live at the Paramount Studios lot in Hollywood with the latest. Philip.
Thank you, Laura. It's kind of hard to hear you. It's not one of the greatest performers of the last century, but the son of one of them, Frank Sinatra Jr., is performing just behind us. We're at the Paramount Studios here in Hollywood, and it's a fundraiser that has been going on this evening to raise money for the LA Public Library's Millennium program for kids. They've already raised $1 million just by the $1,250 a plate dinner that they've been having here tonight. But then there was an additional $1 million that was donated as well. So there you can see Frank Sinatra Jr. in the background. It's been so much fun watching the level of interest and intensity and excitement rise here this evening, because it's a little bit more mature crowd, let's say, than Disneyland. But you know what? No matter what your age is, the longer this goes on, the more excited everyone gets. And actually, I can tell you a quick little story about one of the people that was here tonight. Mr. Bryant Winslow told me one of the stories that I think is very reflective of what everybody thinks as we're hitting here tonight. He was telling me how many years ago in grade school, he used to work out his math problems by figuring out how old he would be when we finally reached the year 2000. Said that it was amazing that we're finally here. And I think Mr. Winslow probably speaks for a lot of folks, as we have been looking for this year for decades, maybe even who knows how long. So many people have been planning on this night, but believe it or not, we're now about, I guess 10 minutes away or so, less than 10 minutes. So I'm sure we'll be back and we'll bring in the new year together right here. But for now, I'll send it back to you guys, and I think I'll just turn around and listen to Frank Sinatra Jr. and maybe bring back some memories of my own.
Philip, thanks for that. You know,
the Channel 4 News at 6 begins right now.
Live from NBC4, the station working for you. Chuck Henry, Kelly Mack, Fritz Coleman AccuWeather, Fred Rogan Sports, Southern California's #1 news, the Channel 4 News at 6.
Preparations underway throughout the Southland on this, the eve of the Millennium. Just about everyone everywhere gearing up for the Y2K party. And that includes the police ready to keep the peace as we count down to 2000. Good evening once again. I'm Chuck Henry.
And I'm Kelly Mack. Our top story at 6 o'clock. Millennium fever is hitting the Southland tonight. All around town, everyone is getting ready for the celebration of a lifetime. Gordon Tokumatsu's live at Van Nuys Airport, just one of many places around here to ring in the new year. Gordon.
Kelly, behind me you see just a portion of the laser light show here at the San Fernando Valley Spectacular at the Van Nuys Airport. This is just one of many different options people have for tomorrow evening. Frankly, if you can't find something to do, you're not looking hard enough. One thing's for sure, the old standbys will be ready. Here's how the Rose Bowl in Pasadena looks as the stage is set for celebration. And in Long Beach, the Queen Mary ready and waiting for countdowns and toasting at the midnight hour.
You will cue the helicopter.
That's when this crew will be springing into action. Big show here at the Hollywood sign. Mayor Richard Riordan will be throwing the switch on a spectacular light show. Where in the city will people be able to see this?
Actually, I've been told you can see the sign from San Pedro Harbor, as long as it's a clear night, which it looks like it's going to be.
And if it's culture you crave on this night of champagne, consider Olvera Street, downtown L.A.
Carnival rides, we've got games, we've got food booths, we've got arts and crafts that are free for the kids. They can take stuff home. We've got live entertainment on 2 stages.
Live entertainment also here at Van Nuys Airport. It's a family-oriented show called the San Fernando Spectacular. Rides, music, fireworks, all that good stuff happening here. No alcohol?
No, it's a non-alcoholic event.
Okay, so that'll help keep the crowd in check.
Yeah, we're trying to aim it towards family. We're trying to have a good time here without having alcohol.
Grand flourishes and flashy light shows appear to be the order of the day for everyone involved. And believe it or not, there are still some tickets available to many of these events. Reporting live from Van Nuys, Gordon Tokumatsu, Channel 4 News. Chuck and Kelly, back to you.
Thanks very much, Gordon.
And the Hollywood sign will have lights of a different color tonight as we count down to the new millennium. The world-famous landmark lit up the sky as crews completed the last-minute touches at a rehearsal. If all goes as planned, each letter will light up one at a time to count down into the year 2000. Mayor Richard Riordan will be the one who flips the light switch. Look at that, that's great. Tonight's presentation will include a digital countdown with lasers and even skydivers.
I like it already.
Yeah, what fun.
By the way, one side of the Times is a sign anytime, and Kira Phillips is standing by that sign in Hollywood, and she has a guest. Kira.
That's right, Bernie and Judy, I tell you what, I grew up in Southern California, and I have never seen anything like this. From New Orleans to Los Angeles, we have all kinds of things in store for you. Wait till you see what's going to happen to this sign come midnight. And as a matter of fact, we have the producer of this whole gala with us, Carl Bendix. He's done everything from presidential parties to the Oscars. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Well, let's talk about this celebration. This light has not been lit up since 1984 at the Olympics. You say this is going to be very different, however.
Yeah, it's much more dramatic than has ever been attempted before. We've put in a close-up lighting system where we've been working for weeks just building platforming and scaffolding at the base of the sign to bring in all the electrical and lighting and special effects instruments.
Now, from old Hollywood to new Hollywood, this used to be a manual thing, flipping on lights. This is all computerized, right?
Yes.
Now, what is so...
High tech. Well, it's also a throwback to the old Hollywood, too. As you'll see, we have data flashes that surround the sign letters, which is how it originally was lit in the 30s when it was first constructed. And then it switches past there into lightning strikes, the world's largest and brightest lighting instruments, and there's like 230 million watts of power.
Wow.
It explodes.
Is it Y2K compliant?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Better be.
We'll find out in midnight, won't we? Now, tell us about the celebration up between the L and the Y. There's going to be a performer.
Also, for the first time, we'll be having a live performance with John Bryan, who'll be stepping out from behind one of the letters and playing a 1,000-year rendition of Auld Lang Syne from Bach to Rock.
From Bach to Rock. Very good. Tell us about some of the other things going on in the city. A lot of cultural celebrations in all the different neighborhoods. They're all interlinked by satellite, by video.
Yes. The Hollywood sign serves sort of as the crown jewel uniting the whole city and all the different communities of Los Angeles. Mayor Reardon has really put together an extraordinary team of producers that are working at 5 or 6 other sites throughout the city, and everyone is throwing from here to the different sites.
Now, what's happening at all the different sites? We have salsa music, swing music, live concerts, parades, correct? What else is going on?
Well, there's a whole series of like 2,000. There's 2,000 on parade. There's 2,000 line dancers. There's 2,000 gospel singers. It's an amazing performance that really represents the best of the culture of Los Angeles and really unifies us and brings us together throughout the city, as we're seeing today in this historic moment as the whole planet is sort of being brought together and feeling the closeness to each other.
Now, what's so special about this for you as a producer? This is very different from anything you've ever done. How does this compare to, say, the Oscars or a party for the president?
Well, this is much more challenging just in view of the location, because right here, even though we're in Los Angeles and Hollywood, we are also in the middle of nowhere, standing on top of a mountain.
It's not like Times Square, we're in the middle of millions of people.
Exactly. So it's very challenging terrain, and I liken it somewhat to setting up a light show on the moon.
A light show on the moon?
Yes,
hey, that could be your next project.
Yes. Maybe.
All right, we can talk to the mayor about that. So come midnight, you're going to be back here with the mayor and with Jay Leno.
Yes.
And you're going to flip the switch.
Yes.
Terrific.
And the sign explodes in a burst of excitement.
Carl Bendix, thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you.
There you have it. We'll be back here a couple times talking about the history of the sign, then, of course, for the big celebration come midnight. Bernie and Judy?
Kara, thanks very much.
As we look at those live pictures of Austin, Texas, which is about 36 minutes into the year 2000, we're going to take you now. Here's a quiz. It's a city with a population inside the city limits of 3.6 million people. The western part of the United States. It's the movie-making capital of the United States. You're right. It's Los Angeles, it's Hollywood, and our own Kara Phillips is there. Hi, Kara.
Hey, I'm pretty impressed with your facts there, Judy.
I've got my almanac here. I'm pulling this.
Are you pulling your facts from the almanac?
Yes, you better believe it.
Good for you. We've got a lot more history for you. Matter of fact, Judy, I remember as a teenager, 16 years old, when I just got my license, the girlfriends and I hopped in my mom's Mercury and, of course, headed to Hollywood. We never found this sign, but I did find out a lot of history this past week.
Oh, yes, Hollywood, in a town where the limelight can be as fleeting as fame.
For the better part of a century, the Hollywood sign has served as a monument to a place where make-believe is real and image is everything. And like many starlets, she came to Tinseltown with another name. Built in 1923, the Hollywoodland sign went up on Mount Lee as a $21,000 publicity ploy, advertising the neighborhood. Studded with 4,000 light bulbs, the sign became quite a city sight and a target. Just ask 73-year-old Don Selton, who as a teenager used to take aim at the lights with his BB gun.
It was kind of exciting to do something that you probably weren't supposed to do.
Dawn's target was destined for greatness. In 1949, she took on a new look. The land was dropped and a star was born.
I'm sure it's on the list of many people that come here from all over the world that they got to see the Hollywood sign.
On the road to stardom, respect wasn't easy. In 1976, it was Hollyweed. You can guess who was behind that. During the Iran-Contra hearings in 1987, it was Ollywood. 5 years later, Ross's pals had pulled their prank. And there's been others. She's proudly withstood the rips to her reputation, but her greatest enemy has always been time. By 1978, the sign had seen much better days. Hugh Hefner stepped in, raising some $45,000 for the restoration effort. Hollywood hotshots like Gene Autry, Andy Williams, and Alice Cooper followed, ponying up $28,000 apiece to sponsor a letter. Once all the money was raised, so was her new steel frame. Enamel letters were attached to what would become a 4-story tall, 480,000-pound solid structure. Now, 76 years after her debut, she's getting made up for those who have stood by her, and her biggest performance yet. And you're going to see that performance right here live on CNN. That's the stage set up by the city where Mayor Richard Riordan and Jay Leno are going to be here very shortly. They're going to flip the switch, and you are going to see the most amazing light show ever hit that sign in years. Matter of fact, since 1984 when it was lit up for the Olympics. But this is going to be much more high-tech, much more exciting, and we're going to have it for you. Judy?
All right, Kira Phillips in Los Angeles, in Hollywood to be exact, where they are just about an hour and 20 minutes away from the magical hour.
And in Hollywood, Kira Phillips is there at that famous sign.
That's right, Bernie. You're looking live at the Hollywood sign where John Bryan is performing up on the stage. I don't know if you can see him. He's right between the L and the Y. First time ever for a live performer. There we go. We got a close shot of John Bryan. He's described as one of LA's hottest producers. Quirky King of Cool is actually his nickname. Recently, he put the polishing touches on Fiona Apple's new album. He also did the score for the new film Magnolia. And he's a very popular session musician here in LA. A lot of people know his name. He's worked with a wide range of artists, from Melissa Etheridge to 9 Inch Nails. I don't know if you can hear him or not. Can you hear him singing, Bernie?
Paul Verkaman, what's the mood there in Las Vegas too?
Well, in Las Vegas, they say it's a city of great hedonism. It's just sheer exuberance here. One of the newest hotels in Las Vegas is the Paris, and the Eiffel Tower here sort of simulated a giant champagne bottle that was being uncorked for all the world to see. The top of it was spouting all sorts of sparks and confetti and fireworks. There are a lot of people right now in Las Vegas who are, for lack of a better term, partying on the street, but there's an awful lot of people indoors, some 1,300 of them, in fact, indoors watching Barbra Streisand right now. And I'm at the Four Seasons, very close to the Mandalay Bay. Next door, you've got Bette Midler performing and a myriad of other concerts. So it's sort of a dual-pronged party here with a lot of the revelers out there having a good time and many other people taking in their favorite artist, not the least of which, of course, is Barbra Streisand, with some of those tickets going for up to $2,500 a pop. And I have to tell you, I was in the Barbra Streisand show briefly, and I watched some of it. And when she appeared, it had the feeling of not so much a music concert, but a football game. When she stepped onto that stage, the MGM just exploded, and there was this roar. She went into her routine. She looked fit as a fiddle, and everybody inside that concert hall, I'll tell you, was telling me that they got their money's worth. A lot of A-list stars there, including Rod Steiger and Paul Rodriguez, some big movers and shakers from Hollywood. Studio types had also showed up. So Las Vegas is living up to its reputation as a fun city right now, Bernie, as the people are, as I said, on the street and in the various casinos, and they're whooping it up in fine tradition.
Okay.
All right.
Back here in Los Angeles, we lit up a famous landmark last night to ring in the year 2000. At the stroke of midnight, with the pull of a switch, Mayor Richard Riordan and Jay Leno turned on the Hollywood sign. Hillside landmark flashed red, yellow, turquoise, and purple for 15 minutes, but then its moment of glory was up. Nearly 3 million watts of special lights lit up the sky and bathed the sign in color. And in Pasadena,
And Happy New Year from Hollywood. Wait until you see how the Hollywood sign got into the act, giving a spectacular finale in true Tinseltown fashion. Jay Leno and Mayor Richard Riordan threw the switch that set off a chain reaction, which ended with the sign exploding into a myriad of colors. Truly a dazzling way to ring in the new year. That is gorgeous. That Hollywood sign has not been lit since the Los Angeles Olympics back in 1984.
That's exactly right.
Look, it's gorgeous.
It was fun watching that just at the turn of midnight last night. And, as usual, Paul Johnson is never wrong. Mr. Right. Good morning to you, Paul, and Happy New Year.
Good, but you know, I even stayed up and watched that Hollywood sign be lit up to say Happy New Year. Wow, what a night.
Welcome back to the special edition of Access Hollywood, and it's time to rewind and take a look back at the week that was, which was the very last week of 1999. Here are the stories that captivated the Access Hollywood airwaves. On Friday, Hollywood lit up for the Millennium by rehearsing the lighting of the famed Hollywood sign. Jay Leno and Los Angeles Mayor Richard Riordan flipped the switch at midnight on New Year's Eve. This is the first time the sign has been lit up since the Summer Olympics back in 1984.
Well, just as Monica Lewinsky and Linda Tripp entered the new year with a new look, so did a famous Hollywood landmark. Here's how Hollywood and the rest of the world celebrated 2000.
I believe that children are our future.
Whitney Houston celebrated a high-tech New Year in Hong Kong, one of the first time zones to enter the year 2000. Hours later, the baby New Year arrived in Paris as awestruck onlookers saw the Eiffel Tower go up in a blaze of fireworks. By the time midnight reached the New World, simultaneous explosions rocked the skies up and down the East Coast. From the 2 million people littered with confetti in Times Square to the Washington Monument, awash in the rockets' red glare.
Here it comes, the party of a lifetime, 31st of December.
Revelers in Las Vegas watched their own Eiffel Tower celebration at the Paris Hotel. On the West Coast, fireworks surrounded Seattle's Space Needle and shrouded San Francisco Bay. But they were nowhere to be seen in Hollywood. Instead, the world-famous Hollywood sign was turned into a psychedelic light show.
Kenny nailed it, didn't he? But that's not all for E.T.'s Millennium Madness. No, our cameras caught even more stars celebrating, from Elizabeth Taylor to Jack Nicholson to Will Smith.
Washington, D.C.'s America's Millennium drew Jack Nicholson and girlfriend Lara Flynn Boyle, as well as living legends Sophia Loren, Muhammad Ali, and Elizabeth Taylor, who was on the mend after recent back problems.
I am so glad that I'm still alive to be here for it.
But Taylor told E.T. she doubts the new millennium will bring marriage number 9.
What? Are you joking?
Say happy! Happy! Say New Year!
Event host Will Smith even got the president partying. He and wife Jada are ready for 2000.
No, the new year, we're just really excited. I mean, it's a wonderful time.
It was an emotional night for Naomi Judd, who was in Phoenix performing with her daughter Winona for the first time in 8 years.
Don't you think it's time?
Free of the hepatitis C that derailed her career, Naomi, who was also joined by daughter Ashley Judd, told ET exclusively that the night was nothing short of miraculous.
We levitated this building. We did.
Celine Dion was caught off guard by the surprise appearance of her husband Rene at her sold-out show at home in Montreal, Canada. This was the singer's last performance before a self-imposed 2-year retirement. In Los Angeles, the big event was the lighting of the Hollywood sign for the first time since the '84 Olympics. It was a sight that could be seen for miles. The fears surrounding the turn of the century proved unfounded, though, as people from Paris to Tokyo to Moscow celebrated without violence or computer meltdowns. Around the world, hope reigned on a milestone that won't happen again for another 1,000 years.